Welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, September 1st, 2015. I'm Lafern Fraser with the details. But before we get into the local news, we do have an announcement to make. Viewers of SVG-TV on its Channel 7 service located at Layou Hill are asked to note that the problem being experienced on that service is being caused by interference from another television station located in Grenada. The relevant NTRC authorities have been alerted and are working to have the problem resolved as soon as possible. SVG-TV apologizes for any inconvenience caused to its viewers, and this is completely beyond our control. Now for the local news, the process of naming and shaming persons believed to be involved in illegal voter registration and transfers for the upcoming general election has begun by the opposition New Democratic Party, the NDP. On the NDP's New Times radio program on Monday, leader Arnim Eustace says over 650 persons have been newly registered, while there have been 238 transferees in his constituency alone. Besides the overall registration process, Eustace also questioned the integrity of some registering officers.
I have great concern about the efficiency and the integrity of the process of registration that I've seen so far, where East Kingston was concerned. I also have concerns about the registration officer herself, Ms. Cambridge. But I want to mention a few names this morning and to give you some little background in relation to those names. And this is a process I will engage in as we go along the election period, and which other candidates in the Democratic Party will also do as we go along this process.
Eustace also questioned the integrity of some registering officers.
I've already had a meeting with legal counsel last Friday to begin the process of prosecution of these individuals, including the registration officer. We are not going to take this matter of violating the rules lightly or breaking the law. The New Democratic Party will be very firm in this matter. We will be taking, I've given instructions in relation to legal action already last Friday on those whose names I have announced. And I'm not leaving out the registration officer in relation to that matter.
The opposition leader said his party will be bringing legal action against persons whom they believe have been illegally registered, as well as against the registering officer. Parliamentary representative for the Northern Grenadines, Dr. Godwin Friday, is urging the young people of SVG not to become wrapped up in parties put on by political groups, but to demand to be taken seriously. Dr. Friday says empowering the youth is essential to the growth and development of SVG, and adds that young people will not benefit or grow from partying. Instead, they need to understand how they will be getting employment and finding educational opportunities. The opposition MP was at the time addressing the launch of the New Democratic Party's Youth Empowerment Program in Langley Park, where the NDP promised to deliver 500 jobs to the youth in the information technology sector alone. According to Dr. Friday, it goes without saying that the future of SVG belongs to the young people, and the leaders must ensure that they do not fail them.
Through parties too, you know. We could do all kinds of fetes. We could give all kind of nice time to the people to make them feel good today. And then tomorrow, they ask themselves, where am I going to get a job? How am I going to finish school? For the young person who passed 4 or 5 subjects and want to go to community college, who says to herself or to himself, I want to go back and get 2 or 3 more so I could go next year. How are they going to get that opportunity? That is a serious conversation that we have with the young people of this country. And we want them to know that we take their future very, very seriously. And the first priority for the New Democratic Party, after taking governance in this country, is to make sure that jobs, employment opportunities are provided for them.
Dr. Friday, who was deputizing for party leader Arnim Eustace, said the provision and creation of jobs alleviates poverty and is the key to saving SVG's economy. He says most of the unemployed population comprises youth and that an NDP government will look out for them by implementing programs in which they will learn how to be independent and not dependent on any government for a handout.
Work hard every day to make sure that jobs are created for the young people in this country. We want to make sure that you have the best opportunity possible based on the resources we have in this country to complete your education, to get the best education that our system can offer. For those who have to drop out of school, we will provide continuing education so that you could continue your education no matter what your circumstances. Because we know sometimes it's hard. You have to drop out and try and look for work. But we want to make you a more productive citizen. We want to make you a more fulfilled person. We want to make sure that you could contribute to the development of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and not just be somebody who depends on a politician or a political party for a handout.
And gender and human rights advocate St. Lucian Felicia Brown is encouraging the youth of this country to choose leaders of good character to represent them. At the NDP's North Windward Youth Empowerment Program launched on Saturday night in Langley Park, Brown, who was the guest speaker, spoke under the theme Restoring Pride Toward Youth Leadership. The activist says though the Caribbean faces many challenges such as unemployment, youngsters must not allow themselves to be taken advantage of because of their vulnerabilities.
To ensure that we hold persons in authority accountable for their actions, that we have a moral responsibility as civilians as well as citizens of our country to ensure that we as individuals, that we as voters take them to task when they do immoral actions, take them to task when they violate our young persons, take them to task when they victimize our young persons. And I'm speaking with a passion because when it comes to young persons, we should not at all times, we should ensure that they are protected and that we clear the ways for them.
Brown also insisted that young voters should not take their voting opportunity for granted as they can make changes that will improve their lives.
Do not waste that opportunity. It is the opportunity that will change your life. It is your constitutional right. It is your human right to make the changes. Nobody can tell you who to vote for. It is your right. You should be able to identify the candidate that will make a difference in your life. You should be able to know that it is your right to make those kinds of decisions on your own. This is the only time that nobody can influence your mind, because at the end of the day, you want to ensure that's your future. You want to also ensure, and that's one of the things I'm going to tell young persons, when you go to those political meetings, walk with a pen and piece of paper. It's very important you do that because you want to take notes while they're talking, so that you know at the end of the day what kinds of ideas and what kinds of policies have been implemented for your community and for yourself.
Newly retired Comptroller of Customs, Granville John, is advising persons thinking of pursuing a career in the Customs Department to have high integrity. John, who was the longest-serving Comptroller, having served for 12 years, says besides being knowledgeable, having a character of honesty will ensure that he or she carries out his or her duties without ill repute.
Never to be professional. You know, once you are professional, customs is an area where you need to know the law. Everything that is done in customs is based on some law. Be okay with the law. And in customs in Vincent and the Grenadines today, we have institutionalized training. We have a training unit. That's another of the achievements that we have. And we training is organized. There's an assistant comptroller who is in charge of training. high integrity, you strive to be as professional as possible, you learn the law, or the rules, the regulations, the guidelines, the policies, wherever you walk in, and you make that your hallmark, you will be successful.
John, who retired yesterday, admitted that one of the most challenging points for him during his tenure was the implementation of computerized systems to get this country up to international customs standards. He, however, says that the teething stage was eased after users realized the efficiency of the program.
But you talk to businesses today, and persons are satisfied the system is up and running, have been since 2007. We migrated to wall in 2013. It was a smooth transition. You almost didn't hear anything. It was almost seamless, you know, and now everybody is happy. And we have a world-class automated system operating from the manifest stage. That is where the ships and the aircrafts come in and they supply us with their manifest. That is for cargo and so on that are imported, to the stage where goods are cleared from the customs. Everything is done electronically. The entire operation is automated, and it is a great improvement.
A nationwide appeal effort to provide relief supplies for the people of Dominica affected by Tropical Storm Erica on Thursday, August 27, 2015, will be conducted here. This is through the collaboration of the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, and the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Red Cross Society. Both organizations will be collecting a number of food and other supplies from tomorrow, Wednesday, September 2nd, to Monday, September 7th, 2015. Persons who wish to donate some of these items, such as canned foods, cleaning supplies, and supplies for senior citizens and babies, are asked to deliver them at NEMO's office at Old Montrose, NEMO's warehouse at Camden Park near Rudy's Electrical, and at the SVG Red Cross Society's office in Kingstown. Erica claimed the lives of 20 people in Dominica, with dozens still missing. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says the floods and mudslides have set the country back 20 years, with hundreds of homes, bridges, and roads destroyed. The World Pediatric Project, the WPP, will this Saturday, September 5th, field a team of doctors here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to conduct a series of surgeries on children not only from here but also from other OECS countries. The WPP Chief Development Officer for the Caribbean region, Simon Carey, told SVG-TV News that yearly the World Pediatric Project hosts approximately 10 to 12 missions where specialized doctors journey from the United States of America to SVG to carry out medical surgeries. Carey says this weekend the medical specialists are hoping to see approximately 50 children.
What's coming on Saturday is the urology mission. So there'll be 7 doctors coming on Saturday night, and they'll do a consultation on Sunday at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. And so all Sunday they'll be seeing, there's about 50 to 60 kids from St. Vincent and around the Eastern Caribbean that will be at this at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital for that day of consultation. What will happen then is the doctors will take a look at the kids, determine which ones are critical, and if there's any critical conditions, those will be actually organized to fly back to the States, to Richmond, Virginia, which at that point they'll have their surgeries done there. They'll also determine, the doctors in the urology mission will determine what cases they can be operated on here. So the doctors will be here all week, and when the missions come, they actually come with the support staff, and they also come with their medical supplies. So they'll be doing surgeries throughout the week at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital for these kids that they've seen on Sunday. So as I said, there's about 50 kids, and there's the majority of them are from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but there's also some representation from Trinidad and as far north as Antigua.
Carey adds that there is a planned charity event dubbed SOCA, Saving Our Children All Over, to help raise funds to further assist in meeting the medical needs of children of the OECS region.
And it's on the 27th of September at Float Beach Bar at Blue Lagoon in Ratho Mill. I've actually partnered up with Skinny Fabulous, and he's going to host the event. The event is it's going to be all-inclusive. It's $150 easy dollars for the night. That will include food and drink. It's going to be more cocktail entertainment style, and it'll be from 5 to 11 at Float Beach Bar. I'd like to add that please follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and please go on Facebook and like us on Facebook and join the movement.
Chief Medical Officer Dr. Simone Kiza-Beach believes that the 2015 National Health and Nutrition Survey gives the Ministry of Health leverage to have more focused targets to address health matters in this country. Speaking at the launch of findings of the survey at the National Emergency Management Organization conference room yesterday, Dr. Kiza-Beach says when targeted strategies are implemented, they automatically lead to a reduction in wastage.
We now have the vital base data specific to us to support the modernization of the health services in St. Vincent. We can now more efficiently target our health promotion interventions. Now we know that our boys start smoking at 16 years and our girls at 18 years of age. So our intervention programs probably need to start in an early secondary school time rather than later on. We know exactly how little fruit and vegetables we consume. We know that the vast majority of us do not do sufficient physical exercise. The survey also provides baselines for the monitoring and evaluation of the interventions which will be implemented to address these issues.
With support from statistics gathered from the survey, epidemiologist Dr. Rosamond Adams says males continue to be the dominant consumers of alcohol here.
Of the male, 15.2% have consumed 6 or more drinks on a single occasion at least once during the past 30 days that the survey was conducted, and 4% of them being female, and overall about 10%, 9.6% of the respondents did consume this quantity of drinks. So the mean number of standard drinks on any occasion that is being consumed for both men and women was over 3, where men 3.2 and women 2.3. But this is considered within the normal range for both men and women when compared to other countries.
In commemoration of International Literacy Day on Tuesday, September 8th, this country will celebrate a week of activities under the theme Never Too Big to Learn. Senior Education Officer of Adult Education, Zan George, says the activities will run from the 7th to 11th September and will include projects such as a documentary, church service, and a study tour of the Argyle International Airport. George says persons must realize that it is never too late to attain academic qualifications.
For business of adult and continuing education for persons who are not really empowered to interact with print, as they will say persons cannot read and write. But that is just one small aspect of what is our remit at the Division of Adult and Continuing Education. We are here as the officials, the only part of the Ministry of Education who are here to give a second chance, so to speak, a third chance, a fourth chance to persons who hitherto would not have had the chance or the opportunity to interface with an educational experience. So we are the person who you come to. We are the division, the people in the Ministry of Education who you will come to if you are an adult in St. Vincent and Grenadines and you have not yet interfaced within a teaching learning experience. We are the one who are here who should guide and counsel you and find some form of access point for you along the educational continuum.
Director of Adult and Continuing Education Francis Clark Palmer also reminded persons that the training received at the facility also includes practical skills for gaining employment.
Be a productive citizen of St. Vincent and Grenadines. You would be able to generate either income from your own self-employment, or you would be able to work with other people to generate income, because that's one of the things that adults need. They have responsibilities. That's the definition of an adult, that they are persons that normally would have left the school system behind, and they're now into a different season of their life where they have responsibilities or they have to generate some kind of income for themselves. Their families are expecting that they're going to do something productive. So part of the training that we provide is in business skills instruction, social skills, being able to manage yourself and your life.
In court news, Kevin Woods, a young man of Cedars who told law enforcement officers that someone gave him 1,874 grams of marijuana to take to a man in Kingstown, has been fined. He was intercepted by the police, who were on a stop and search mission at Belle Isle on the North Leeward coast. Woods was at the time in a vehicle traveling toward the city when the police signaled the driver to stop, which he did, and a search was conducted, resulting in the recovery of the drug in a bag that Woods had in his possession. He was escorted to the serious offenses court today and pleaded guilty to the drug possession charges. A fine of $3,000 was imposed upon him, of which $1,000 was to be paid forthwith or face a 7-month jail term. The balance of $2,000 is to be paid by November 3rd, 2015 in default. An additional 15-month jail sentence will be imposed.